You're listening to the 22nd edition of the Bitachon podcast. Last time we studied together from the Sefer Madregas Adam, we saw the story of the Alshich and the Lime Greber, the guy who went and he sat down, and amazingly a treasure came. Ubo Talmidei HaAlshich, the altar continues and says that the students of the Alshich came. He asked them, what is the difference? How come he was able to so easily have Bitachon and have a miracle happen for him? And we've been working on Bitachon. We've been trying to have Bitachon for real for so long, and it's not working. We're trying so hard. We're not getting it. You heard at one time, he sat down and he was reading Tehillim, and he got a treasure. He said to them, what is this comparable to? You want to drive a stake into the earth. So you're banging and you're banging and you're banging. And if the earth is solid, if it's strong earth, so then the stake is driven in strong. It doesn't move from its place. But if the earth that you're driving the stake into is very crumbly, if it's not strong earth, so then when you're driving that stake in, it's not gonna stay. It's not gonna be stuck well. You have to drive it in much further, as he's going to say. He explained that this man who was a lime digger, when he heard from the mouth of the Alshich, the concept of Bitachon, he understood it simply. He just took it on the surface level. That's how Bitachon works. The way that Bitachon works is a person has awesome, powerful trust, unwavering trust. That's how Bitachon works. He understood it that there's nothing else. There's no other reality. This is the only reality. Why am I working so hard? Why am I spending so much time on all these different efforts? In a moment, Hashem can give me everything that I need. And that's what happened. Why? Because he believed it. Because it was real for him. Said the Alshich to his students, that's not how it is with you. That's not the case. For you, the earth that you're driving the stake of Bitachon into is very crumbly. As we find, there's a concept that whoever is greater than another person has a greater Yetzer Hara. You guys are mituchkam. You guys are very smart. You guys try to understand everything. I'm not sure. How does it work? Maybe it's a miracle. Maybe it's not the right way to have Bitachon. The Bitachon without any efforts. That Bitachon with some kind of efforts. Maybe it's going to work for me. Maybe it won't. So a person like that who has many different concerns, many different understandings, thinks about it so much, it's not so clear. So it's not going to stand for him. It's not going to work. So what should the person do? A person like that needs to take the stake and drive it in so deeply that earth that's on the top, which is crumbly, that should not be part of the cheshbon at all. So then the stake will indeed, when it gets in deep enough, it will be able to stand and it won't move. A person needs to see, look, it didn't work until now. Why didn't it work until now? It didn't work until now because I didn't drive it in far enough. I didn't have a good gather for myself. I didn't truly believe it. Or maybe I did too many efforts and I depended on my efforts. So I need to do something. I need to make boundaries for myself, clear-cut boundaries for myself so that I do things right. And I'm reminded of something my Rosh Yeshiva says, a story with a particular woman who we spoke to a few weeks before she passed away. And she was concerned what's going to be with her children after she passes away. But she said, I have full bitachon. I have full faith in Hashem that it's going to be okay for them, that Hashem is going to take care of them. My Rosh Yeshiva said, if you would have asked that same woman a year before, the bus didn't come home, it's coming home late, maybe what's going on, perhaps there's been an accident, who knows? The person, when they're in a different situation, the situation itself affects how deeply we feel, depending on how much control we think that we have. When we feel like we have no control over something, it's easier to have bitachon. It's easier for us to accept this is Hashem's will. This is God doing things, we don't understand why, but this is Hashem. And I have bitachon that it's going to be good, that everything that Hashem does is for my best. So depending on the situation, this lime digger, his situation was, his mind, his intellect was such that he could accept things in a very simple way, and he could act on them in a simple way. So his bitachon worked. It worked much stronger because of that. We, however, said the Alshich to his students, we have trouble because we think, well, maybe it depends on my ishtadlus, how much efforts I put in, maybe it's this, maybe it's that. So we need to strike in that stake of bitachon much deeper, much stronger. We need to, in order to get to that place, to get to that feeling, because it's a feeling, it's an emotional feeling, bitachon. So we need to use different tools. If let's say you have a person who the thieves have broken into his house, they broke the lock. They broke that lock. You can't put on another lock like that. What do you need to do? You need a stronger lock so that they shouldn't get in next time. If a person sees that the bitachon didn't work, or in a different area he sees that he fell in a certain michshol, he fell in a certain sin, so the person needs to establish for himself a higher wall, a stronger gather, a stronger boundary, so that he shouldn't fall and it shouldn't be broken again. So too when it comes to all of the commandments, a person sometimes goes this way, sometimes goes that way. Why is a person not so, he's a fachfoch, that's the lashon that the altar uses. Why does a person jump from one extreme to the other? It's because he doesn't have that strong earth. He's got that crumbly earth. Shema Nesu, maybe it was a miracle. I know it worked for that guy, or I know it worked for me that one time, but I deserved it that time. Now I'm not feeling like I'm on that level. Maybe bitachon is something which is for extremely great, righteous people. Maybe I won't be able to hold up that level. Maybe I won't get what I need. What happens with these kinds of thoughts is that the person loses his decision. He loses his commitment. Because bitachon is a commitment to Hashem. And like we said, Hashem tzilcha, Hashem is our shade. So depending on how we are committed, that's how much Hashem is committed to us. So a person allows himself to have all these questions and to not be fully committed, so then he loses out doubly. First of all, he doesn't have that level of being a great person. He's also not going to obtain that thing that he wished to obtain. However, what is the solution? The solution is to take that stake and drive it deeper into the ground. It means the person needs to take the Torah and the idea of spiritual greatness just as it is, just like the lime digger did. This is real. I can actually have bitachon. It can work for me. It will work for me if I have full bitachon. Even though indeed the person who's saying this has crumbly earth, he needs to drive that stake in so deeply to the point where that crumbly earth at the top is not part of the deal. A person needs to make deeper and stronger boundaries until now. And such a person will be able to succeed, certainly, without any question. So that's the idea. The idea is that when it comes to having bitachon, when it comes to trusting in Hashem, when it comes to indeed being able to, we can all reach this level of the lime digger who sat in the Beis Medrash. Everything came to him. And I think it's essential, one of the things that I've wondered about is that there's been an awareness that's been growing about the altar of Navardik, about Navardik. A sefer just came out about the altar, and there's increased awareness and interest in bitachon and the idea of emunah. And I think that there's a reason for it. I think that HaKadosh Baruch Hu has been preparing us for the situation that we're in right now, for this unbelievable time. Unbelievable. Hashem has decided that there should be a certain amount of people are going to pass away from the world because of Corona. And so we have to face off with this difficulty, and we're watching it, and we're fearful, and we're all affected. Our parnasses are affected, our livelihood, and we don't know what's going to be. But we've had these discussions about Bitachon, and we have the Bitachon group every Sunday. The men meet every Tuesday. The women meet, and we've had an opportunity to work on these things. We have an opportunity to think about these things and to drive that stake into our hearts, so that we can have it for a time like now, when it's such a challenge, it's so difficult. But if we have this deep and powerful bitachon, this deep and powerful trust in Hashem, it works. It really does work. If we really do have it and we see it. And at a time like this, we don't have a choice. We have nowhere else to turn. We can only turn to Hashem. As much as the governments want to save us, and as much as there's all these different things that, all the stimulus plans, etc., etc., HaKadosh Baruch Hu is the only one who can save us. To the degree that we have bitachon, it doesn't matter if we're in a situation that's challenging. It doesn't matter if we're in a situation that's great. All the situations, as the Alter says, are exactly the same. Because when we have true bitachon, we have true trust in Hashem, we have everything. Thank you so much for listening.